Welcome to the Generator Founder Series Spotlight. My name's Troy Vossler. I'm the co-founder of Generator, and today I am joined by Jahn Khan, the founder and CEO of 4Earth. Welcome, John.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Troy. Appreciate you having me. Absolutely.
Well, let's get started. Please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background, and then what is 4Earth? What's the genesis story behind 4Earth? What do you guys do? Tell me all about it.
Depends how much time we have, Troy, but I'm gonna keep it brief. Like Troy mentioned, Jahn Khan, founder and CEO of 4Earth. My background is in engineering from Georgia Tech, but slightly before that, I think worth mentioning that I used to be an MMA fighter, a competitive MMA fighter. That was my career path, but somewhere along the lines, I thought philosophically, hurting people for a living, risking my own head. Let's choose a different career path. Naturally, being in engineering, I went towards that route. Got some experience in the industry, in water, energy, and other sectors. My big vision in life is to work on these big, hard problems and develop technology to help solve those problems in an easy to use way. And then when I was at Georgia Tech, naturally, I had really good connections, spent time in the industry, was working on my PhD. And then I realized specifically in the water industry, technology is really outdated. Solutions are very hard to use. There's a lot of fragmentation. If you want to get something solved, you got to work with like 10 different companies. Things take too long. Construction timelines are way too long. So I was like, why don't we build a technology to help solve these issues and close these gaps that have like advanced materials, advanced tech, AI machine learning. It's factory built that, increases speed. So I left my PhD many moons ago and started 4Earth. And at 4Earth, essentially, and Troy, you know this very well, but essentially what we're doing is we're building technology to solve multiple problems now that we've kind of, been through a few years of development and actually in the market. But our initial piece was creating our ginseng technology, which is pretty much designed to plug into factories, plants, data centers, utilities, manufacturing facilities. And it's designed to take the wastewater from the process. We treat it through our unit, and then we give that resource back to the factory at up to 95%. So we're pretty much creating on-site circularity and resource efficiency and cost reduction. And recently, as a byproduct of our system, we launched the Thinking Factory, which is essentially designed to do continuous monitoring within the factory and create what we call factory intelligence. So gathering data across the factory floor and then using that in a nice, clean, simple way with AI to give messaging on operation, maintenance, things like that, and creating a digital twin. Pretty much, Troy, our goal is how do we take hard factory and industrial problems and create easy to use solutions that reduce cost? That's our big play.
I love it. And what a cool background from MMA to PhD to sustainability tech.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Pretty common path.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
exactly. Yeah. I'm sure it's common.
and what's the current
Absolutely.
status of 4Earth? Like what, think about it through the lens of traction, customers, revenue, fundraising, whatever you're comfortable sharing. What's the current status of 4Earth?
Sure, sure. Yeah. So as you know, Troy, with any deep tech, hard tech, hardware, software company, first few years was heavy development, testing, validation, and we got to test with some big names out in the industry. But now the story's a lot different. We're quite blessed and fortunate. We're working with some pretty massive companies like Mercedes-Benz, Cox Enterprises, Siemens, Central Life Sciences. And we've deployed in over 4 states now, and hopefully adding 2 more states this year, God willing. And we are accelerating the production, we're increasing production capacity, hiring more people, moving to a bigger facility. So we're quite blessed to be in a pretty good scaling time. So new challenges there. A lot of after sales systems we're putting in place for these customers we're dealing with. And our goal is to just keep pushing on the ginseng and thinking factory product lines and provide a good service for our customers. I would say one big thing outside of the easy to use and tech driven solution is not to toot our own horn, but we've been giving pretty good service to customers. They kind of call us like old school service. Like we're giving service to companies like they did back in the day, and I think that's something we're pretty proud of.
Yeah, you should be proud. And where are you
Absolutely.
and the company located?
We are outside of Atlanta, good old Atlanta, Georgia. So we design, engineer, manufacture everything here. It's in Kennesaw/Marietta, Georgia, to be exact. So
Nice. And
Yeah,
why Atlanta or why Georgia? What makes that a great place to be an entrepreneur to start a company?
that's a great question. So I can do a short-winded, long-winded answer. I'll keep it short. So I went to Georgia Tech, as I mentioned, got a couple of degrees there, and then left my PhD. So I decided to stay here in the Atlanta area. That was kind of my reason. But now looking at it, a lot of folks in the past, smart people from GT and other places, would graduate and then go out to California, Texas, and work at these big tech companies, things like that, or work at startups there. But what I'm seeing now is the startup scene is kind of accelerating in this area, and we're glad to be, maybe a senior member or like medium senior member in that area, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So pretty much building here. There's really good talent here. There's a lot of manufacturing going on here. There's a lot of new and large companies starting to build stuff here. I'm sure you're seeing in Georgia in general. So yeah, I think it's a great place to start a company and recruit talent and also manufacture things.
I love it. All right, thinking
Absolutely.
about wearing your founder hat, what was the biggest challenge you faced as a founder and how did you overcome it?
Great question. Let's see. Maybe I won't mention specifics here, but I think one of the hardest things we've ever done was we built typically to build our systems takes about 8 to 12 weeks. And that's pretty fast for industry standards. Usually it takes months to make something of this capability. We've done one in 3 weeks for a Fortune 500 automotive company. Um, and that was probably one of the hardest things we had to do. We had to design, engineer, procure, build a to Z wastewater plug and play system in 3 weeks. So our team was working like over 100 hours a week, maybe 110, 115 hours a week. We tightened up, we got it done, we implemented it. It was a successful project, and I would say that's probably one of the hardest things we've ever done. But ever since then, we really leveled up because we know we can move fast. And as you know, automotive is very tight in tolerances and requirements and regulations. So we're able to work with them and kind of level up our technology. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Very, very hard time, I'll tell you that one.
that's a good story. What's one
Yeah.
thing you wish you learned sooner as a founder?
One thing. I think kind of listening to like where the market takes you. I think naturally as a founder in the beginning, you're kind of spraying all over the place to figure out like where that product market fit is. And I think maybe that's natural to some extent. It takes time to develop that understanding. But hindsight 2020, I think we could save some time in that category and find product market fit a little earlier. But that's wishful thinking. Maybe that's like hindsight 2020. But I guess like the path to product market fit, just finding it quicker. But I think we found it now and now we're accelerating on that path.
Nice. And when did you go
Absolutely.
through Generator? It was our Cox Cleantech program.
Yeah, Cox Cleantech program was last year. We were the first cohort, which is pretty honorable. And Cox is one of our customers too, so we have a really good relationship with them.
Nice.
So yeah,
Tell me
absolutely.
more about your Generator experience and perhaps how did the accelerator help you the most?
It was great. I mean, working with Miguel Hanna very closely in Atlanta and the other companies, we still have a relationship with some of them, or all of them, I would say, to some extent in collaboration, etc. But the experience was great. I think what it did was it kind of, brought together the Atlanta ecosystem. Cox is a big player in this region around the world, but in this region specifically. So Cox coming together with startups in the region, I think it created a nice little buzz in the area itself. And then what it also did was kind of accelerate some customer connections, things like that. Because right now, Troy, we're big on sales and kind of accelerating that path. So I think Generator really helped in that category.
Yeah, that's good to hear. And shout out to Miguel and Hannah and the whole team at Cox for being
Big
such
shout out.
great
Absolutely.
supporters.
That's Ryan, everybody. Yeah. Yourself.
Uh, what advice do you have for entrepreneurs or founders that are considering an accelerator like the Cox Cleantech program?
I would say know which accelerator you're going into and kind of make the most of it. I think that's the biggest thing with accelerators, right? It's like what you put in is what you get out. For us, we had a clear, definition of what we wanted to achieve during the accelerator, what connections we wanted to make. I think if that's clear, you'll get a good outcome from the accelerator. If that's not clear, then maybe you have a bad taste in your mouth. I don't know. You're reading stories everywhere, but I think generator in general, from what I'm seeing, everybody's had a pretty good experience,
Yeah.
including us. And I'm
Tell
not
me,
just saying that because I'm on the call.
I appreciate hearing it.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about your favorite part of the program, or perhaps the favorite connection that you made.
Ooh, this is a great question. It's hard to say because I've made a lot of good connections. I think maybe like two quick stories here. One, our relationship with Cox got stronger because they're involved in the program. So they were already a customer before, but after that, things started accelerating with them, the support and just the relationship in general. Number one. Number two, we've already been working with Siemens prior to the accelerator, but once again, there was a gentleman from Siemens that was involved in the um, mentor side of things, and we connected and kind of accelerated our relationship with them. We've done successful deployments with them now, and looking at some of their factories as well. So I think from Cox and Siemens and this whole 5D chess with the accelerator, I think it played in our favor as
Yeah.
like the top two things I could think of.
Nice. All right, my last question. If you had one ask for this audience, so people watching this interview, maybe it's like an introduction to a mentor or a customer or an investor or just general advice that you're looking for, what would your ask be?
I think the ask would be very clear. So, as I mentioned at the top of the call, right now our goal is acceleration on sales and production. So, if you know a customer that's number one on the ginseng side of things, using water in their production, and is either trucking their waste or paying a lot for their waste, please introduce us. We would love to do some discovery and find a solution for them. And number two, if they're a factory and they need help with predictive maintenance and AI-based, operation and maintenance support, would also love to work with them, whether it's vibration flows, pumps, motors, other types of equipment. Our thinking factory product is in the market now, and we're ready to accelerate that as well.
I
So
love it.
two asks there: customer connections for either ginseng or thinking factory, and if you just want to get to know us and collaborate, would love to chat.
I love it. Well, thank you. This has been Jahn Khan, founder and CEO of 4Earth. We're going to include a link to 4Earth in the description, so please make sure to check it out. And if you have any connections to customers, make sure to connect John. We appreciate the time, John. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Troy. Appreciate it.
Cheers.